I'm Morgan and welcome to the Improv Kitchen, where I show you how to take a recipe, improvise it, and make it your own. Today we're talking about bruschetta or bruschetta. Tomato, it's the same dish. Basic ingredients for bruschetta are tomatoes, onions, basil, garlic, olive oil. I'm throwing a little bit of a twist in there by adding peaches, and it is amazing what happens when you combine all those ingredients together. So let's get started. I got some beautiful heirloom tomatoes from the market today, but you can use any kind of tomato that you like. It really does not matter. Cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, all that matters is that you cut them fairly uniform in size. One tip when you're cutting tomatoes is to use a serrated knife. It will cut your tomatoes without smushing them, and it makes life a lot easier. I'm just finishing up chopping these tomatoes, and then we're pretty much ready to assemble the bruschetta. I'm going to get my tomatoes in the bowl here, and I've gone ahead and already cut up some onions and some peaches. Now, if you've ever had bruschetta before, you probably think it's a little weird to see something like peaches in the dish, and to be honest, the first time I saw this done, I thought the person was crazy. Peaches have no place in bruschetta. They're sweet, they're a summertime fruit, they're fabulous, but with bruschetta? And I did my courtesy, take a bite, tell her how great it was, but really what happened was it was so fabulous, I make it all the time now. So I've got my tomatoes, my peaches, and some red onion. Now, improvise as you will. You can use a white onion, you can use a shallot, you could use a sweet yellow onion. It doesn't matter. You just want a little bit of sharpness. You could even use green onions. As for the peaches, they are delicious and they're my personal favorite, but if you're not a big fan or you don't have peaches on hand, nectarines, plums, any stone fruit will do. Apricots would also work really great here. So the next thing is I'm going to chop up some basil. And what I like to do is layer the leaves like this on top of each other, give them a little bit of a roll, and then take a regular knife, not a serrated knife, and just chop, it's called a julienne, all of the basil. And then I like to give a couple of chops across, just so that everything is around the same size. I'll throw that into the mix, and grab some garlic, and we are almost done. Helps to beat the garlic. It relieves tension and it also makes life a lot easier. And just give the garlic a little bit of a rough chop here. Alright, we've got our tomatoes, our peaches, our onion, our garlic, and our basil in this bowl getting happy. We have a couple more ingredients to add and then we're ready to top it onto our toasted bread. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then a good healthy sprinkling of olive oil. This is just going to help everything come together. It's going to disperse all of the juices throughout the entire thing, and it's going to just add a lot of bright freshness to the mix. Whoop. A little bit tried to escape out of the bowl there. And that's it. It's that easy. So I've gone ahead and toasted up some slices of baguette, and you can use any kind of bread you like here. You could use a whole wheat, you could use a sourdough. I would recommend staying away from olive breads or anything like that because the flavors are probably going to compete with the flavors of the bruschetta, but really, you can use anything you like. Also, a way to improvise this mixture, beyond substituting the stone fruits and things like that, if you want to make this a little bit of a Mexican twist, you can add cilantro instead of basil, and all of a sudden you've got a beautiful salsa with a burst of fresh peaches. You could substitute mangoes, and then you've got yourself somewhat of a chutney. And you can even take this mixture and instead of topping it on bread, put it on top of grilled chicken breast, or you could eat it with tortilla chips. It would be fabulous anyway. And it's that easy. And now for the best part, trying it.
The bread is crunchy and you get a burst of freshness from the peaches and the juicy tomatoes. And then you get a little bit of that onion that just cuts right through all the sweetness. It is the perfect combination of sweet and savory.
For this recipe and more, go to theimprovkitchen.co. Happy eating!